Alright, we have made it to the Earth-like world, which I think is just Earth here. They start rocketing towards the planet. Something that I might do is set up a camera on the bottom. Yeah, use it to scout it out. What I can see from up here. Into a lower orbit. Need to start rearranging the guns soon too, I think. Also, something else that might be worth doing is even looking for a potential landing spot, possibly on an ice lake. And yeah, grabbing some more ice at the moment. Looks like the asteroids haven't spawned in. Hydrogen thrusters on this thing. It's crazy. I had that many, but yeah. conductor's still not finished. It's a bit annoying. Let's have a look at it. See what the hell is going on with it. Superconductors and reactor components. Why are we not making those? Broadcasting a long way though. Nice lake there, or I've got a lake there, which I don't know if water's on this planet or not. Might be water. That way. It's closer. Can't tell what it is. How far you can go through deep space in a suit. Because I think you can travel faster than 800 meters a second. I wonder if you could go planet to planet. You had enough batteries and oxygen. stopping a distance up. I want to go check out that lake too. Before I'm going to go to something that might kill me. Or it could be another player and I don't want to mess with them. Like, not that I can shoot at them or anything like that, but there it looks like there's been a lot of holes dug around here. Using the backwards thrusters on. Start slowing down to something reasonable. What the hell is going on there? Getting shot at. By I don't know what. parts I wanted to production. Oh, bloody hell. That's not ideal.
Yo,
Hey,
where's your other buddy at? Is he hiding?
hey, who? Marty?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's dealing with some family stuff at the moment. How's things with you?
Ah. It was better today.
Sorry, what was that?
I said could be better today. I didn't go to work.
Oh, that's not ideal. I'm live streaming at the moment, just so you know. So,
No. Yeah. Yeah, no. I figured when you were in the live streaming channel.
okay, no worries.
Um, but yeah, no, as far as work went is my coworker, he's supposed to let us know when he's about 45 to hour and a half out. Since I picked up the truck and take it from there for the night.
Oh yeah.
He didn't let me know until he had just got to the yard that he was there, and I'm a 45-minute drive away.
Oh, that's not ideal.
And then my other coworkers that normally come on the route with me, they were there already because they got there early.
Yeah.
But he originally told me midnight, and he got there at 11:10. And then it's like, oh well, I forgot to tell you it was a lot sooner. I was like, yeah, you don't say. So I was like, it's not even worth driving out that far at that time because it's already gonna take us a long time that day.
Yeah.
So I just told the guys to just go on for the night, and then I get a call from the boss. Apparently, because I couldn't get a hold of the boss, so I asked them if they could relay it for me.
Yeah.
They never even tried to text the boss for me.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it makes you wonder what goes through some people's heads, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, this company I'm not staying with for too much longer. I've already put more job applications in for different companies.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't like driving dry van trailer. I want to do flatbed. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, you don't have your own truck, do you?
Unfortunately, no. That's what I'm saving to get right now.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, that's got its own set of drawbacks as well. Like, you need to be pretty.
Fuel maintenance.
Sorry.
I said all the fuel, all the maintenance, the insurance.
Well, yeah, as well as the management and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot of work. A lot of people don't seem to realize you are actually running a business.
Exactly.
Like whenever you're an owner driver. So,
and
a lot of people like think, oh yeah, how hard can truck driving be? And it's like, well, you're not just truck driving, and truck driving.
It's all the
is not
logistics
easy.
behind it.
That's right. Like I've run several businesses in the past, and you know everything that seems like it shouldn't be a problem, they end up being the biggest headache. So. But
yeah, as it is, I'm done with this boss. I mean, he's looking for. Sorry for the language. He flips back and forth all the time, and this guy doesn't even have his Class A or Class B license to drive commercial. He just sits in the damn office all the time.
Okay.
And
yeah, like,
there was a bad storm. I was running solo one night, and there was a bad storm that came through, almost causing my trailer to like flip me. Like it was up on one side almost.
Yeah.
And I pulled off on the highway, and he tried to tell me I need to keep driving or I'm fired. I'm like, okay, then fire me.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing. Like in Australia, I don't know what the laws are like over there, but in Australia, if it's unsafe, if you do something that is deemed to be unsafe, and something happens, you are automatically deemed to be at fault because as far as like an investigating.
Yeah, it's the same over here.
Yeah, well, like you're supposed to use your due discretion. Like being a driver, like a transport driver of any kind, there is a chain of responsibility as far as stuff goes, but like my boss told me to do it is not a good enough answer, and it's like, well, they told me to do it, otherwise I get sacked. That's a little bit of a different thing. That can be considered coercion, but it's still the onus of responsibility is on the operator themselves. What the expectation is that you say, well, if that's the case, then I'm going to go talk to, like, typically it'll be something like the TWU, like the Transport Workers Union, which is like a big transport union in Australia. And you say, well, this is what's happened, I have a grievance, blah, 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 they threaten to sack me or whatever. And in which case they'll go and fight for you. You can get sacked and try taking it to court. And battling it on your own merit. Like,
which was what happened to my dad one day. They fired him for taking an emergency like leave all of a sudden because me and my mom got in a bad car accident
yeah,
and couldn't do anything, and they fired him, and we ended up winning a $150,000 lawsuit.
oh geez. Well, yeah, that doesn't happen in Australia. Like winning a lawsuit in Australia is a very difficult thing to do. Like from a
Say with the U.S.
yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of times, like yeah, in Australia, it's like very easy to, well, it's very difficult to fight against any company that's larger than you are without help from the union or something like that. But the union's hands are being tied more and more frequently. I'm not necessarily someone who agrees with the concept of unions entirely, but at the same time, they do have a purpose. There's been a couple of times where the union has gone into fight for me, like one of the several unions that I've been in. But that being said, it's just like any other organization. There are points where it can be susceptible to corruption. You know, as soon as you end up with somebody who's willing to, or you know, like there's another union for retail workers. Like there's unions for every different thing, right?
Yeah.
And like when I was working in retail, like when I was a lot younger, this particular retail union, which I'm not going to mention the name of, just to avoid potentially being sued. They were pretty much in bed with major retailers. So, you know, we have workplace agreements, like, which is negotiated on top of the award rate that you could be getting paid. And so you'll have, or an enterprise bargaining agreement is what they call them with large companies and stuff like that. Now, the union is, like, you know, they say, oh, we work closely with major outlets or what have you, but what it really means is like the workers have no control over what their agreements are going to be anyway. Like if you don't like it, then you don't get the job, and you just end up with more and more of your rights or liberties or entitlements being stripped from you. Like, and it is like, it's not an ideal system, but at least there is a modicum of checks and balances there. So, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the way things work now, because like everything is like, it's nowhere near as corrupt as what it was like in the, between 30 and 50 years ago. But at the same time, you know, it's still got a long way to go before you could say it's a fair system. Like, you know, you've always got like, well, it's actually like when you have a look at it, like most large corporations, like the way that they're run now, ones that have been gone for a long time. Now, I'm not a communist by any stretch of the imagination. I believe in the capitalist ideal from a business perspective, but what I don't think is fair is the way it's structured, like a pyramid scheme, where you've got people on the top that contribute fuck all, which are living off of the backs of, you know, the 10,000 people under them. And the 10,000 people under them are the ones that are supporting this business, and they're just getting crushed
Keeping
under.
it running.
Yeah, and you think about it, right? Like, you know, I mean, I've worked in places where, you know, I've made the company millions of dollars, like millions and millions of dollars, because of the way that I do things. And yet, you know, I don't get a cut of that per se. I get paid an hourly rate or whatever. Like when I was working in engineering, that's what it was like, and that's fine. You know, I didn't set up the sales or any of that other stuff, but the person who was at the top, you know, he made a shitload of money off of me, and I got, you know, basically kicked in the nuts for it. It's like, well, you've done your job, we don't really need you anymore, so see you later. You know, it's like, well, that's a bit of a dick thing to do. It's like, or like once, like there was another thing that used to happen in engineering or trades and stuff like that, where, you know, older tradesmen would be reluctant to show anybody how they did stuff, because as far as they're concerned, their methods were their job security, and if nobody else knew how they did what they did, then they couldn't be replaced.
Secure job.
That's right. And so it's like, oh, can you show me that? And they go like, nah, fuck off, mate. Rah rah rah, you know. And it's like, well, I don't know. there's so many different schools of thought with it. But yeah, like Australia is not a fun place to be as far as trying to get a fair shake out of the situation goes. You just get
Yeah.
But I mean, everywhere's the same. If there's an opportunity for someone to be exploited, they will be. So
That's what their main job.
yeah, like it's just yeah, the government interferes a lot more over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a lot more regulation. Like trying to start up your own business is a friggin' nightmare. The hoops you got to jump through and the amount it costs to start up your own business and all the red tape, and then like you do the slightest thing wrong when you're learning the process, yeah, you just end up getting shafted by the government. And you know, if you want to, they say, oh well, you should have consulted an expert, or you know, you should have gone and seen an accountant, or you should have gone and seen a lawyer. And it's like, so I haven't got any money at the moment, that's why I'm trying to get a job or, you know, start a business, and yet you want me to go and pull money out of my ass and blah blah blah. So basically what you'll need to do is go and get yourself into a massive debt to start up a business rather than have a good idea, and then from there you're constantly on the back foot, like you're paying off a debt. And you know, that's why, what is it, something like 90% of small businesses fail within their first year. Like, it's because the system is designed to make them fail. Like,
Yeah, you're setting yourself up no matter what for failure.
well, it's not so much you're setting yourself up for failure, you're being set up for failure.
Over here in the U.S., if you start a business, you're setting yourself up for failure. Unless you keep pushing as hard as you can and waste every dime and you're almost homeless.
Yeah, and you almost get destroyed in the process. Like, if it doesn't destroy you mentally, it'll definitely, like, come close to destroying you financially.
I know some guys that have went full bankrupt, filed bankruptcy, and then came back and did it again, but this time came back harder after they had to file.
Yeah.
In the first place, you shouldn't have to file for bankruptcy, you know?
Yeah, and that's a tough thing to, like, really want to do as well. You know, once you file for bankruptcy, that goes against you whenever you're trying to start up something new. There's a serious lack of trust, like with all of the, you know, any potential lenders. Like, the day of the entrepreneur is, you know, it's almost like it's long dead. Like, which is really, really...
What happened to being able to live the American dream, you know?
Well,
or
you know,
any dream, you know?
Well, you know, it takes away, like, hope and prospect. It's like, you know, if you're constantly getting kicked when you're down, it
makes you want to get back up.
Well, like, I got to the point in my own personal shit that I've been going through where it's like it doesn't matter if it was anything that happened to me was unfair or illegal or whatever. There was that many people kicking me down that, yeah, every time I try to get back up, I'd get stomped back into the ground. And, you know, ultimately it was like, you can't fight the system. That's what the police were telling me. That's what, you know, everyone who, like, the lawyers were telling me, the magistrates, is like, it doesn't matter whether you think you're right or wrong, or whether what's happened is, you know, just or not. This is the outcome and you have to accept it. And if you don't want to accept it, tough shit, you know? It's like, so I just gave up fighting them. Like I don't know what else to do as far as that goes, so...
Yeah.
But, you know, one day, like, hopefully something will change. Like, there are, like...
Hopefully one day I can win the lottery. Same with you.
Oh, well, yeah, but what is it? The odds of winning Powerball in Australia is 1 in 147,864,000 something or other, right? I worked it out one time, and like...
Dude, you should see the East Coast rate. It's like, I think good 45% of the time is Powerball's won over here on the East Coast.
Yeah, like, I mean, another way that lotteries have been described to me is like a tax for stupid people, or a tax for people that don't know maths, and it's like, well, that's a bit unfair. It's like, I mean, I used to buy a lotto ticket just, like, it's funny because I buy a lotto ticket and then not check the numbers to get as much value out of the lotto ticket as I could get. And everybody goes, oh, I don't understand what you're talking about. And it's like, well, if I don't check the results, then it's still a potential winning ticket. So, you know, that's a little bit more hope that I've got that I wouldn't have otherwise had, you know, for getting me out of this financial shithole. And, like, yeah, there was a really big win in Western Australia. And one of the guys I was working with, he goes, hey, did you buy a lotto ticket? And I'm like, well, yeah, I did. And he goes, have you checked it? Because someone around here won. And then he's like, I said, oh, I don't want to check it. I'll check it later because I might have won. I might be like, you know, a multi-millionaire right now. And, you know, that's getting me through the day right now. I really don't want to be here. And he's like, no, you should check it. Rah, rah, rah. And it's like, no, I'll check it later. I don't want to know.
Check it when I want to know.
That's right. So he comes up later and he goes, oh, no, it was some guy who bought it in this suburb. And it's like, you're a dick, man. And he's like, well, what? I wanted to know. And it's like, well, what difference is it going to make to you? Like, if I've got millions of dollars, it's like, yeah, you know, I might buy you a beer, but fuck, you're not getting a good chunk of it. It's like, you ruined my day. And he's like, do you really hate being here that much? And it's like, yes. Yes, I do. If I could leave now without repercussions, I would. He goes, why do you hate it?
That's why I've been looking at other jobs right now. I mean, I'm going to keep this one until I have a new one.
Well, yeah, I mean, I used to think that way as well, but unfortunately it got to the point with me where, like, health and mental health problems were precluding me from going to work, as well as legal fucking battles. It's like, and in the end,
the thing I hate
work
about
just
the
got
job I'm
jacked up
currently at is I don't like dealing with coworkers. I've always been somebody that rolls solo.
Well, I don't mind.
And I get shit done fast solo.
See, I don't mind working with other people. I just can't stand working with people that, like, yeah, like when the laziest person I've ever worked with.
Dumbasses.
It's not so much dumbasses, right? You can't blame an idiot for being an idiot, you know? Like, it's not their fault they're stupid. But people that are, well, it's true. You know, you can't blame an idiot for being an idiot, but the intentional idiot is the thing I have a problem with. Someone who knows better but does the shithead thing anyway. And it's like those people, I reckon, are one of the biggest detriments to society, and something should be done about it. Like, I read a paper when I was doing psychology on it. Like, there's another aspect of it called social loafing, which is like the concept of, you know, like a tug of war, for example. You've got like people that pull their weight, and then you've got people that just coast along or whatever, you know, or that rely on other people to actually succeed. They'll take the credit if there's a win, but they won't necessarily put as much effort into achieving the outcome.
Want to see if they do something wrong, they try to put off the blame.
Oh, that's a different kind of problem. That's the, yeah, like the dickhead.
I mean, I straight up told him, the guy earlier, I'm like, look, you fucked up. That's not on me.
Oh, yeah. Well, jeez. Like, I'm always the first person to accept responsibility for something I've done wrong, but, like, usually what that lines me up with is, you know, I end up getting blamed for shit that I don't do. But, you know, the world is a pretty messed up place, so I don't know how to deal with a lot of those problems.
It's just not worth the headache of all this shit. I mean, if I break down, I'm paid by the day, not hourly. So if I break down, I can be out there for fucking 16, 17 hours and fucking still make the same pay, you know?
Yeah, well, see, that's something that you do have to take into account. Like, I used to think that people, like the lazy people that did fuck all, I used to consider them, you know, idiots or whatever, and that's not actually true. When you think about it, they're smarter than me because they're, like, I'm working my ass off, breaking myself to try and get a particular job done. And they're doing fuck all, expending fuck all energy and not getting injured or whatever, and they're getting paid the same. So, you know, it could be argued that in a lot of ways.
Like right now, after tax, I'm making $1,000 a week. The new job I'm waiting to hear back from. I should be hearing back from them come Monday. And I've talked to a couple of the guys that work at the one I applied for. It's called Sunbelt Rental, transporting like machinery and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that's exactly what I want to be in the industry.
Well,
I don't like doing box trailer and just drop and hook kind of crap.
Well, yeah, I mean, like something else that I've learned over time like, because I've done a lot of different things. One of the things I really took away from, like, like the way that things had happened and stuff was I had the most fun in jobs where I liked what I was doing. And it makes a pretty significant difference to your quality of life and your outlook on things to see whether, you're actually doing something you enjoy. Like, there's nothing worse than being stuck in a place that you can't get out of, that you feel bound to for whatever reason. And, whether it be because of financial obligations or, it is, in my mind, like being in a prison, but it's a prison that, people think that they can't get out of. It's not like actually being in jail, but you are kind of trapped. So, yeah, it's tough. But what you need to do is, if you really want to be happy, in my experience, the happiest I've been is jobs where I'm happy to stay. I could work some jobs I've been at or done. I could work like 3 days straight with no sleep. Like, that's the sort of job I want to go back to, or whatever. Something that I'm happy to just, I can lose the time and do whatever. Or the other kind of job that I really prefer to do is I work until the job's done, and then I can go home and go and do something else, or have something else to do, but I'm constantly busy. I don't like being idle.
Well, the other downside about the job I have right now is, we were supposed to be set hours, right? Okay, it's just been a crap show without. It's getting worse and worse. The guy he's supposed to leave the yard with the truck to go up to Jersey at like 12:30.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been leaving until like 3:30.
It sounds like you got someone who's really letting you down. Like letting the team down. And
and they said, oh, well, he's perfectly fine, but as soon as I don't show up, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
But he can put us all late and get us in trouble with customers.
Here's the other thing with that, right? I've seen this a lot of times before. One of the, I used to get into trouble all the time for talking, or, and I talk all the time. I'm always constantly working, but you've got other people, there was some of the people that I worked with would spend half an hour in the toilet out of every hour that they worked. Right? I'm not joking. They literally did that. Right?
Oh, I know, because I've seen people do
it.
Yeah,
okay. Now, those people never got into trouble for it. And I actually asked one of the bosses, asked the supervisor that I was on good terms with, and I was like, why don't they rip into those lazy cunts about it, right? Because they do fuck all. And I get yelled at all the time. And it's like, because you listen and you try to do something about it. Bitching at you actually achieves something, whereas bitching at those lazy cunts does absolutely fuck all. So they don't even bother anymore. They can't sack them because they'll end up with a union up their ass saying, oh, I'm being unfairly targeted and all this other shit. And they just take advantage of the system because that's the kind of people they are. Fighting with them is a completely redundant thing. The only thing that they can really do is manage the problem, as far as the way the system was set up. Whereas going and telling me off for being a minute late or...
Well, that's the thing is my boss finally realized I don't take shit, because every time he's yelled at me, I've yelled right fucking back.
Yeah, it only lasts so long, though.
I'm one person, I don't take shit easily.
Yeah, but they wear you down. It's the foot in the door principle. It's like once they get their foot in the door, they will, wear you down, and they'll start to extend the boundaries until you explode again. It's very similar to being in an abusive relationship as far as that goes. You'll explode and say, I'm not taking shit anymore. If you don't stop fucking with me, I'm gonna quit.
I don't cuss them out and shit. I'm very stern about how I act.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's not cussing out per se. It's more like you reset the terms of your arrangement, so to say. You say, look, I don't want to take shit anymore. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the thing is, he didn't like the fact when I said if this truck. He tried to force me to drive a fucking tractor trailer that was every fucking code on the dash was lit up. Literally a Christmas tree, the whole semi-dashboard.
It's funny, in Australia, all you'd have to do to prevent that is put a tag on it. You tag it out, and then no one's allowed to remove that tag, otherwise they can get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fines if they're not qualified to remove that tag.
Over here in the US, if there's any dash light that is on as far as a warning indicator or anything, you're not legally supposed to drive the truck. until it is fixed.
Yeah. Well, like, people, like, the warning lights, I don't know whether it's the same here or not with heavy trucks and shit like that, but as soon as there's something is deemed to be unsafe, which is if a warning light comes on, you're supposed to tag it out, and that tag is not allowed to be removed. I mean, in some places I've
Being
worked
put out
at,
of service.
yeah, like mine sites, they actually do the lockout tag out, where you go and put a tag on something, and then everybody who's working in the area has to put a padlock on it, and everybody carries that key with them, and it is not allowed to be removed, even if it's been repaired. You know, if you're working in an unsafe environment, like there's been times where I know of people that have flown back to Perth with their key, forgot to take their lock off, and yeah, they go to unlock something, they've had to fly them back to a particular mine site because that individual has to unlock it with their key and sign off on it, because people have been killed by, you know, people bypassing the lockout tag out procedure. So yeah, it's an incredibly dangerous thing for someone to go and do, and no one will do it because you know, you'll get fined so severely, or even end up in jail, or if someone dies, you know, you'll end up in jail because it's like negligent manslaughter or some shit like that.
Yeah, so over here in the U.S., is the only person that can put your truck back in service is DOT.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, a mechanic can sign off on it here, but like as far as like the equipment that's working on mine sites or anything like that, it just has to be repaired by someone who's qualified, or you know, someone who can sign off on it, who's legally allowed to or adequately qualified to do it. So a mechanic can certify that a vehicle's safe. Like the mechanics, like you can go and get, like they subcontract mechanics out to the department, or they call it the Department of Planning and Infrastructure in Western Australia, which is the same as your DMV or whatever. Yeah.
Department of Transportation.
Yeah. Same sort of thing. Like it used to be the Department of Transport here, but they changed it. Like, yeah, whenever anybody gets into trouble, they go and change the name of the government department to try and avoid an inquiry. But yeah. It's like basically people dodging bullets left, right, and center because they've done something sketchy. But yeah,
he tried to get me to drive that truck, and I was like, no. He's like, well, if you don't do it, then we're gonna have some problems. I'm like, okay then. Like, I'm the operator of the vehicle, and I'm telling you, it's not safe to drive it.
I've said flat out to people before, like, look, you are going down a very dangerous line of conversation right now. It's not a threat; it's a warning. If you keep going and you try to coerce me into doing something that is illegal, I welcome it, because I will see you in court. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to getting paid out, especially if it's a supervisor. And it's like, now you're not necessarily going to pay me, but the company will, and then the company's going to come after you and take everything you have. And that, like, that line of conversation there wins almost every argument as far as anybody trying to coerce me into doing something illegal. And I think if a lot of...
They don't like when you outdo them.
Well, it's not so much I outdid them. It's like, you've crossed the line here, and like, I don't know how many times I've had to have this conversation. It's like, you are putting my life at risk right now. I don't like it. So this is what's going to happen. If you don't stop trying to pressure me into doing something illegal, I'm going to have you for it. And I'm not scared of it. And the boss is far more, like, his boss is far more scared of the potential repercussions of, you know, getting butt fucked by, you know, WorkSafe or CompCare or whatever, which are the investigating bodies due to safety incidents and whatnot, and the fines they'll incur, as well as, like, hey, look, I can retire early if you keep going. Like, it doesn't really faze me. So, yeah, you stand your ground as far as that goes, for sure. I mean, you're not going to make friends that way, but at the same time, you know, you are there to do a job. And what would they rather?
Well, the other thing is, I mean, a lot of U.S. jobs, as far as trucking goes, are contracted, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
the same
stuck
here.
in a year-long contract. First thing I did with this company is I read every paper through and through, even on the fine print.
Yep.
Because I'm not locking myself into a contract. I know better than that.
Yeah, well, like,
And a lot of people just try and go, oh, okay, done, and then they go to leave. Oh, you're locked in a contract now.
well, like when I was working for the government department that I was working in, like, I got stuck in the office and couldn't do my normal job due to like a serious incident that took place. Like, this is when my partner got killed, my wife. Like after that happened, yeah, I was stuck in the office a lot and I didn't have a lot to do. So I went through and read every single manual that they had on company procedure or section procedures and all that sort of shit. And there was, oh shit, tens of thousands of pages, and I memorized the whole lot. And what that made it, or put me in a position to be able to do, was argue every single inappropriate thing that they would do, like from then on. And I ended up getting transferred out of the DC that I was in on account of this. So because like yeah, one of we got a supervisor come in, who, yeah, he just, as far as he's concerned, his proud moment was, when I first transferred over here last time, half the office quit. And it's like, that's not something to be proud of. That's a sign of shitty leadership, But yeah, I got into it with him and they had to transfer me out. So, because like I was right all the time and they didn't like that.
They didn't, yeah, they were scared of it.
Well, it's not that he was scared of it. He just couldn't win and it pissed him off. He was a psychopath in a lot of respects. He was like, no, I'm going to get what I want and I'll use whatever means necessary to do it. He could not give a fuck one way or the other, as far as he's concerned. And I became a target, So,
yeah.
Like, I mean, this guy was fucking mental, though, because he was, like, a couple of years off retiring. After he retired, he still kept coming back to the DC and telling everybody how to do their job and shit. And it's like, you don't work here anymore. It's actually an incredible security breach you be in here. Can you please leave? And, yeah, he was that kind of dickhead. It's like, it was his life. And it's like, look, I understand that, but your life was you were a cunt to people and you still want to continue being a cunt to people. How about you just fuck off and do something else? So, but yeah,
but you know them, they won't.
Well, that's it. I don't expect people to change, like for me, but you're trying to destroy other people's life, but meh.
But yeah, I mean, I straight told my boss, I was like, if you keep trying to force me to drive a broken truck, it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna end up leaving you on the side of the highway if this shit does it again.
Well, that's technically what you're supposed to do. It's like, if it's unsafe to operate, you're not supposed to do anything, are you? You're supposed to pull over and get towed. Get someone to pick your trailer up and tow the truck back to a repair depot.
It was 13 hours a total shift that day. And it was right as I got to my first stop, the truck broke down. Right as I got to my first stop.
Yeah. I think the worst thing, though, is when you get accused of breaking it. Or you did that on purpose.
Yeah, he's like, well... Yeah, he tried to accuse me of breaking. I'm like, you're talking to a guy that works on cars daily, and... why would I try to do that?
Well, yeah.
I mean, if I break down, that's putting me out of money.
Well, see, whenever somebody says something like that to me, like, I say, is that something you would do? Because I would never have thought of that. And he goes, what do you mean? It's like, well, is this something that you would do, or, because you've thought of it, or has somebody done this before? And they're going, and it puts them on the back foot, because it's like, are you accusing me of being a lazy prick that breaks shit, or whatever, or maybe they are that person, to get out of doing work. And it's like, well, no, why the fuck would I want to do that, You know me, you know how I work. Does this sound characteristic of my personality? I would rather get the job done. I don't want to be sitting around waiting, doing fuck all. Like, really, from my perspective, when I was driving trucks, it was like, driving trucks was a lot easier than sitting there waiting for the fucking truck to get fixed. Like, at least the scenery's changing. But, it is what it is, I guess. Well, yeah, I hope you get it sussed out. It sounds like you're not in
that's why I'm looking.
Well, yeah. You can't find anything if you're not looking. So.
Yeah, I put in, like I said, quite a few job apps, and all these companies are flatbed trailer.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds good. Sounds like you know what you want.
Flatbed, lowboy, dovetail, step deck, all that.
Yeah. I mean, if I could go back 20 years, like, and
I mean, I already
do
have my
things a bit
hazmat
differently.
and my explosives endorsements.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Geez, you get a lot of work in Perth at the moment. Like, I think all the mines are ramping up again. Like, because, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of mining trucks, like, heading out of the city at the moment.
yeah, I still got to get my tanker endorsement, which that's not hard. It's like 50 question test, and that's it.
I don't even know what that is, so...
Just to drive, like, tankers, so, like,
Oh,
milk
tanker.
trucks and all that.
Okay, yep.
So,
Well, that, yeah, I mean, that'd come under, like, similar to hazmat stuff as well, but with liquids, so...
yeah.
Like volatiles.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I might as well expand all my endorsements while I can. I mean, it's only $1 a year to add them onto my license.
Yeah, I've got no idea. Like, I don't have a heavy vehicle license anymore, so...
Yeah, so, like, the annual fee for my license is $10 a year. And I only have to renew mine every, I think, 10 years.
Oh, that's alright.
And then, yeah, the endorsement says only $1 per endorsement per year.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
sounds pretty...
and there's only, like, 8 or 9 endorsements. So...
Yeah, well, it sounds like it might be worth doing. But that being said,
Yeah.
you know, like, those
I
things
have my
do...
doubles, I have my triples, my explosive, my hazmat, my overweight. So I have 5 of them already.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, well, the big... Like, yeah, the main thing you see transported, like, or, you know, there's a lot being transported is, pilot vehicles as well. They get paid quite a bit, which is, you know, the cars warning people and stuff. But, yeah, there's a lot of people moving, like, really big shit, like haul packs and stuff like that, running them out to mine sites and whatnot. Like,
My buddy was trying to get me to do car hauler.
yeah, see, I wouldn't want to do that because, like...
I had a buddy fall off the top of one. I'm good.
Well, that's not why I wouldn't want to do it. It's like, you know, if something goes wrong, like, which often does on the road...
Exactly.
Like, and you've got, like, you know, $2 million worth of cars on your car trailer, or more, you know, depending on whether they're expensive or not. You know, that's a nightmare of a time. Like, also in the United States, I'd be concerned about getting held up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's a pretty risky thing as well. Like, I've heard a lot of drivers, having their life put in danger because of hold-ups and whatnot. But, you know, Australia is very different with that as well. Like, it's not likely you're going to get carjacked over here. Not very many people have guns. You never come across them. Or very rarely. Well, it is and it isn't.
my own car before, so...
Yeah, see, that's about the only benefit of the gun laws in Australia is that, you know, it's difficult for criminals to get guns. Like, I worked at, like, a service station. Like, I worked graveyard there, like, you know, a very long time ago at a service station that was particularly busy. And I had a guy come in one time, and he said to me, oh, what would you do if I tried to, like, rob the place? He puts a knife on the counter, and he goes, what would you do if I tried to rob you? And I pulled we had this little baton underneath the table, and I just put that on the bench, and it's like, look, I teach Kung Fu. If you can get past the bat, you can have the till. And the guy just picks up his knife and walks out. But a couple of days later, there was a little bit before my shift started, there was a young girl who was working like on the till, like as a console operator, and yeah, he came back and rolled her over. So,
Wow.
like thieves and criminals and shit, they're animals of opportunity. You know, he tried it on with me, and it's like, look, I'll beat the piss out of you. Like I had no problems doing it. I was young and stupid, and also I used to be a pretty good fighter. I used to teach Kung Fu, so I could have beaten his ass pretty wickedly with that stick. He didn't scare me with a knife.
Yeah.
And like I knew I could handle myself then. But you know, you're taught, you know, you just give them what they want, you know, and that's what he was expecting. Like, but yeah, he wasn't going to get it out of me. Goes back and targets the younger girl. So, like,
A vulnerable one.
well, that's right. It's like, you know, you go up against someone who could handle themselves. You know, it's not a it's not a smart thing to do, really. But yeah.
Yeah, everybody just goes for the weak.
Well, you know,
I mean, like you said, they're people of opportunity, though.
yeah, animals basically. Like, it's the way that I see a lot of criminals like that.
They don't want to work, but they want to take what people work for.
Oh no, I've seen some people put in an extraordinary amount of work to be lazy and stuff like that as well. Don't get me wrong, they're willing to work, but they're not willing to work in a productive way or the way that everybody tells them.
That's what I'm saying.
And a lot of times, like, I really don't have a lot of respect for, you know, a lot of people like that. Especially, mainly people that take advantage of other people are the ones that I really can't stand.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's because I've been taken advantage of quite a few times.
System.
Well, it's not even just cheating the system, it's just...
Oh, you see over here, dude.
Gaining an unfair advantage over somebody else. It's like, we all have the same rules to play by. We all have a pretty tough situation to deal with, and yet you feel that you're somehow more entitled to my whatever. Where I'd rather be in the United States, though, is that if someone does try to steal your shit, you have the right to defend yourself, whereas in Australia, you have to let them take it. Call the police, and the police might do something about it. Well, I suppose it depends on where you are. You said you're in Jersey. Like,
I'm not Jersey, I'm Virginia.
Oh, Virginia, yeah, but you were working in Jersey?
No, our semi just goes up to Jersey.
Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, Jersey's not a fun place to be, I've heard. Like, according to Tim Pool.
Jersey, New York, Chicago.
Like, they have a semi-castle doctrine thing going on in New Jersey at the moment, where, like, you cannot defend your home. If someone breaks into your house, you have to flee if you can. You don't have the right to defend yourself. And it's like, shit, it's turning into Australia. Like, in Australia, you don't really have the right to defend yourself. You're not allowed to carry a weapon of any sort. Like, if you have a baseball bat in your car, like, baseball's not that common a sport over here. But if you have a baseball bat in your car, you have to say it's because I play baseball or softball or whatever. If you tell them it's just in case something happens, the cops will charge you for carrying a weapon.
Which is so fucking stupid.
Like, that's what it's like over here. You're not allowed to carry anything for personal defense. Like, there was a time where pepper spray wasn't illegal. It is illegal now. If you get caught carrying pepper spray, it's a concealed weapon. The police will charge you for carrying a concealed weapon. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's like, well, you know, if my daughter, like, was to go out and she was to take something like that with her and it saved her life, she'd get charged for, like, aggravated assault and grievous bodily harm and all sorts of stupid shit like that if she used it to try and prevent someone from raping her. And it's like, well, what about the rapist?
Right.
And it was like, well, the rapist has rights too. And it's like, well, they fucking shouldn't. I reckon if somebody does something like that, then they should forfeit their right to exist. That's my opinion.
Right. I mean, there's one thing going on right now in Ohio.
Yeah?
It's really fucked up.
What happened?
10-year-old girl was raped by her dad, and her dad got her pregnant.
Ugh.
She was... Yeah, I mean, that's fucked.
Yep.
And she didn't want the kid because the kid's putting her life at risk right now.
Well...
And now we have the whole abortion...
Oh, the Roe v. Wade thing going on. Yeah, that's all over the news everywhere, so...
And now they're trying to charge her with murder and stuff if she goes through with abortion in the state of Ohio.
See, I think that's a bit ridiculous because she's 10. And there are serious health concerns. Like, she's having her life put at risk. And
she's not even at the 6 weeks. She's 4 weeks pregnant. She's still under that threshold of what they were considering as murder.
Yeah, like, I understand, like, you know, everybody's going to have a different opinion about this, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't agree with abortion and stuff, but, you know, in certain instances, aka that,
yeah,
I mean,
that's a very outlying thing. I don't think that laws should be drafted on that. I think that everything should be taken on a case-by-case basis based on the merit of its particular thing. And that thing there should have been a no-brainer. It's like, this is running a very high risk of killing this kid because it's a kid. You know, I understand as well that it may someone might try to use it as precedence for something else, but I don't think that that would be a very appropriate situation to apply to very many other circumstances where, you know, you've got some woman that got on the piss, you know, who's an adult, and she may regret sleeping with someone, had unprotected sex or whatever, got herself knocked up, and then regrets it later. First thing is you hear about is that she's going to say, "Oh, I was raped," and it's like, yeah, not if you both were drunk, like beyond self-control, like you both put yourself in the same situation or whatever, when she may not even know the name of the bloke. But, you know, it's the whole trying to deny the taking of responsibility sort of thing. That's what, you know, ends up happening. And by rights, I don't think this 10-year-old really should not be held responsible and have their life put at risk based on the circumstances which you've just described. So it's ridiculous to me, but...
Like, as somebody that's had false allegations made against me that because the daycare parents not wanting to pay their bills,
yeah,
it really torqued me.
Oh yeah, like I that was one of the tactics that was used to try to get the person that tried to murder me off. Like, she made allegations against me as well in court, which were completely untrue, but the threat was very real. And it's like, if I was to try to contest anything that she was saying later on, then that was basically a threat thrown at me saying, look, if you try to bring charges on me on any of the other stuff I've done, I'm going to threaten to tell everyone that you raped me and shit, and they'll believe me because I'm a woman. And that is very true, because believe all women, you know. And it's like, well, I reckon that everything should be based on evidence and merit and stuff like that. It's like, she wasn't raped.
Well, just like, so during that, because like I said, it happened twice, and both times I was perfectly clear. I willingly did polygraphs and all that.
Oh.
And I was forcefully kicked out of my house, and I was not even 18, dude.
Yeah.
The second time it happened, I was 16. I was out of my house for over a year.
The thing I want to know is, how come there's no repercussions for the false allegations? Like, you know, someone lies, right? I reckon that they should, if someone is willing to lie to destroy someone's life, I reckon that they should be also subject to the same consequences or same jail time as what the person that they're accusing would have got, because this is what they were trying to take away from someone else. It's like,
right,
take away...
The only reason why we haven't gone after him is because of my little brother. We don't want them trying to do anything to him, since he's only 7.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, it sucks. Yeah, I had to go through it. I had to grow up way faster than I should have.
Yeah, the same sort of thing happened to my kids.
It made me who the person I am. I don't take shit from people. I don't fucking trust people. I don't trust the system at all.
Yeah, no, I can relate. And it's not an uncommon story. Like, the amount of times I've seen it before, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, the detective that was covering the case had the audacity to try to act if I was dating, like, a minor and shit, and trying to get her address, like my girlfriend's address at the time.
Yeah, no,
my girlfriend had nothing to do with this. Why the f*** are you bringing her into this?
Yeah, well, you know, they try tangents, I suppose. So whatever way they can get you, they'll get you.
Oh, well, they didn't like me that day because it was the CPS workers that showed up and the detective with 2 other officers.
Yeah.
And they told me I had literally had like 10 minutes to pack my shit and fucking leave. Otherwise, they were taking my little brother into foster care. Which,
well, the same sort of crap goes on over here, man. So.
Well, the thing I did is I had just got my 2017 Dodge Charger, and the cop kept trying to like tell me I can't drive and stuff, that I wasn't stable to drive, and I told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We lived on a gravel dead end road. I bet you can guess what I did.
Yeah, throw stones.
Oh yeah, I busted fucking windows on those cars. Because they were like blacked out Explorers and stuff, and I shattered the windows.
Yeah, see.
And my mom's watching, the cops are like, well, are you gonna do anything? They're like, no, you just kicked him out of his own fucking house. What do you expect?
Yeah, see, like, if I had done anything like that, or even made the threat of doing something like that, I would have got arrested here.
Well, that's why I didn't give them the heads up until I started lighting them up. I had no tires.
Oh, no, they had chased me. Because, like, yeah, as soon as you go against the police, like, oof, you do anything that they consider to be antisocial, they will kick your ass big time because they want you to know
I'll
that.
admit I was dumb that day, and I
Well, it
thought I
sounded like
lost
you're
everything.
upset, so you weren't necessarily making the most rational of decisions by the sound of
Oh,
things.
the whole day I didn't. Let's just say, as soon as I hit I-84, which is one of the longer highways in Oregon, which is going on the gorge by the mountains,
Yeah.
um, I was dipping between traffic about 170, 180.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought my life was already fucked. They were trying to take me to fucking prison and shit, dude. That's what I was like. I mean, at the time, you don't know how they are gonna be, you know.
Yeah, well,
And
see,
then as
that's
soon
one
as
of
the first chance I got on polygraphs, I was like, fucking give it to me. I don't care.
yeah.
Why am I gonna throw myself under the bus if I actually did it?
Well, yeah, well, you gotta be careful though. Like, anything to do with the
But
law
they
is
didn't want to use the polygraphs because it didn't suit them.
Yeah, well, of course not. Like, they
Oh, well, it's not admissible in court. But yeah, it's admissible in court when it comes back that you failed.
well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sketchiness about it, like as to the accuracy of them and all that sort of stuff. It should be a tool
Urban, no, go
that's
away,
used, not sorry.
Because he asked us. Oh, I'm talking to my brother.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like, I mean, one of the biggest things that I've found with anything to do with law is like dealing with whether they're prosecuting attorneys or defense attorneys or anything like that. They're all professional manipulators, and same with the police. They're professional manipulators in a lot of respects. Like, if they've got a bone to pick with you, they will try to twist everything into, well, you broke this law under this technicality and blah blah blah, just to teach you a lesson because you went against them, or you tried to prove them wrong, or you made them look stupid, or whatever, And like,
The thing they also didn't like, though, is the fact that my buddy was a police officer, and
Well,
I used to hang out with him all the time.
well, I've got family that
And
are
he-
cops, and I don't have a lot of respect for them either, because they were
I
quite
mean, my
happy
buddy,
to sell
he's
me up the
actually
creek.
like one of the nicest cops you'll fucking meet. He'll literally give a person like a million chances. And
Well-
normally he's not even the arresting officer ever.
Yeah, see, like, I'm saying things as being generalized, and the majority of my experiences
Yeah.
have been this particular way. Now, I'm not saying that every single person is like this. Like, I don't hate
Yeah, you
Police.
get a lot of bad apples out there.
individually, but that being said, like, I'm going to treat them a certain way, like, very cautiously, because of all the previous experiences that I've had with it and the biases that they've expressed towards me. Now, I'm not saying that all cops are bad, and I'm going to take extreme actions against them when I have to deal with them, which I frequently have had to do. But it is going to let me know that you need to be on guard whenever you're dealing with them. Like, I never lie to anybody, ever. Like, it's a really annoying thing in a lot of ways. But, it's... Yeah,
Well,
I
just
just
like I've been pulled
never
over
lie,
over
but...
here, and over here, normally if you even mention the fact, oh, do I have to sign kind of thing, cops will normally just pull you out of the vehicle. At least in Oregon, that's how it was.
Yeah, it was like...
And
Well, over here, like, what the cops used to do what they used to do to me when I was a teenager, like, not long after I got my license, was if you gave them any kind of lip, they would put a work order on your car, which meant that, like, they call it a yellow sticker over here, which is a defect notice. And they can defect your car for anything. It's like, oh, you haven't got enough water in your wiper bottle, that sort of thing. You'll get a defect notice for that, which is an expensive and difficult. No, but that's what they do. And it's like, if the cops want to make an example of you or teach you a lesson or something like that, they say, yeah, okay, yellow sticker. And it's like, how about you go and fuck yourself and fuck your mate too, It's like, but there's been times where, like, cops have been reasonable, or they've, actually taken the time to listen and be understanding and stuff, but those times are few and far between by comparison. The amount of bad experiences versus good experiences with them. Like, yeah, I'm not going to trust anything a cop says straight off the bat because they're trained to lie. Like, something that I was taught when I was growing up, because my grandfather was a cop, two of my uncles are cops, and one of my cousins is a cop. And something I was taught about what makes a good cop is someone who can think like a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a good investigator is someone with a criminal mind. And it's like, well, that's not necessarily a good thing in a lot of ways. But it's like, well, how do you, an average person can't really understand the mind of a crazy person or a psychopath. Like, because you're just not capable of doing it. It'll send you mad. So,
Right.
just hang on one sec. I ran out of
No,
lighter gas. I'll be back in a sec.
I'll go for it, bro.
There we go. It's funny because when I was younger, like, I used to, like, often I get told, oh, you've got a lot of good ideas, maybe you should go and become a member of parliament or something like that. And it's like, fuck no. I don't want to be in charge of people. Like,
Right.
I don't want to be, like, when I was asked to be, like, a supervisor at some of the places I've worked at, and it's like, I don't want to be anybody's boss. Because that means that, like, I have to deal with, like, all that dumb shit. As well as, like, I don't want to tell people what to do. Like, it's just not... like, I'll tell people how to do something if they ask, but I don't want to be...
Yeah.
it's just not me. But that being
Originally, I was
said...
gonna become a cop, and then I decided with everything that happened during, like, the Black Lives Matter and stuff, it wasn't a good idea.
see, the reason why I can't become...
never gonna make a difference.
Like, it's one of my favourite lines from movies of all time. It's like, I was going to become a cop, but I couldn't get in because my parents were married, so...
Sure.
Pick the movie reference.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm doing my other dream career, so...
Nah, well,
But,
look, not all cops are bad. Like...
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good cops out there, but
Some...
you don't ever see the good things because the negativity always takes over.
Well, see, it's a very different thing over here. Like, the only people that walk around carrying guns in Australia are cops, and the occasional security guard, like an armor guard, like what do you call it? The guys moving a lot of money, like
Yeah.
Loading up ATMs and shit like that.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
money trucks.
Yeah, they're the only ones that'll carry guns, like, because nobody else in Perth has a good reason to carry a gun. Like, if you have to transport a gun, it has to be in a locked case, in a locked boot sort of thing. It's like there are so many security measures you have to take, and the only other people that have guns in Australia that aren't cops are the sporting shooters, which are... it's very difficult to get a sporting shooter license, or farmers. And farmers have a legit... like, you have to demonstrate a legitimate purpose for having the gun, such as you own a property over a certain size, you're a farmer, and you need to do pest management and stuff, which you also need to get a fucking permit for.
Yeah.
Like, kangaroos and foxes and rabbits and shit like that, they're a fucking nightmare over here.
Really that bad? Huh?
Oh, kangaroos are particularly bad. Like,
Heard they're a bunch of douches.
No, like, kangaroos, they're not dangerous, but they're, like, because farming has made way more food available, the population exploded. And so they'll have to go and do, like, a massive cull. Like, they'll kill thousands and thousands of kangaroos and shit, because they'll just ravage crops. Like, rabbits are the same, and farmers hate foxes with a passion, because they kill everything. But...
they see food and that's it.
well, foxes will kill sheep. Like, they go after the sheep and kill the sheep, and they can lose a lot of money, and they make a mess. And yeah, if a farmer comes across a fox, they terminate that fox with extreme prejudice. So, like, obviously not inhumanely, but they will, like, go overkill with using the shotgun, which... oh, that's the other thing that sucks about... you're not allowed to have semi-automatic weapons here, or farmers' tools. Like, everything is either a bolt action or a break action. Like, yeah, like, semi-autos got banned after the thing that happened in Tasmania all that time ago, which was done with an illegal firearm as well. The guy went nuts, bought a, I think it was an M16. He bought an M16 off the black market and went shot like 30 people in Tasmania, and the rest of Australia gets their guns taken off them. And it's like, he paid $30,000 for this gun, like in the 90s, which was a lot of fucking money, to obtain a military rifle that you were not allowed to buy in Australia anyway, and then they ban all semi-autos. So that was just stupid.
Yeah.
And violent crime went up, and violent crime has maintained a consistent rate. Stabbings increased, and stabbings tend to be more fatal than bullet wounds in Australia, at least anyway. Like, if you get stabbed, there's a good chance you're going to die, compared to getting shot.
Yeah.
Because the wound is far more detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the other thing that people don't realize.
Well, the saying is, if you get stabbed, do not pull the knife out if the knife is still in.
Yeah, but like, how many times do people just get stabbed once? It's not very frequent. It's usually stab, stab, stab,
Over
stab,
here,
stab.
Over here, it's about once. Which is it's odd.
But the other thing you usually see is that stabbing is either, you know, like, oh, there was an incident that happened, like, in an area where I used to work, where there was several people got killed. Like, there was a massive riot between two rival gangs of indigenous communities and whatnot. A family moved in that was having an argument with another family, and all the kids were shitheads. And yeah, like, turned into a massive riot, and several people got stabbed. Like, that was crazy, because like, I ended up having to go out and work that area, and I didn't get told. And there was like 50 police cars out there, helicopters, and all sorts of shit. And it's like, oh fuck, hope I'm not going to get into trouble. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy what our world's come to, you know?
Oh, this was... Shit, that's going back now like nearly 15 years now, but, you know, shit like that's always happened.
Yeah, but nowadays it's at least in the US, it's easier to get your hands on firearms and stuff now.
Well, that's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it's a double-edged sword in a lot of respects. It's like, all I'd really like is for, in Australia, if someone attacks you and you use whatever means to defend yourself, and that person gets seriously fucked up, there's not going to be any repercussions against the victim, which in this circumstance that I'm describing would be yourself. It's like, you should be allowed to defend your life, and you're not here. That's what I've got a problem with. Like, there was an incident where teenagers nearly killed me at a McDonald's drive-thru because they were bored and decided to, you know, knock out my brother, who was the designated driver. Me and my cousin got out of the car and we got our asses kicked. We were pretty drunk, but we were like, what are you doing, man? And as soon as we started talking to them, all five of them just jumped on my cousin and started tearing at him like a pack of dogs. And my cousin was substantially bigger than me, and like, I was pretty drunk at the time, and I can talk big. Like, I was also a lot older then and nowhere near as good at fighting as what I used to be. And, yeah, like, when all five of them jumped on me, they got me on the ground and started stomping on my head. And the only thing that was going through my mind was, like, if I kill one of these kids, I'm going to go to jail and my kids are going to be orphans, basically. And that was what was concerning me more, and why I didn't go at them with what I could have been capable of. Was, like, if I accidentally kill one, which is not the intention is to stop them from trying to kill us, the magistrate's going to come down on us like a ton of bricks. And it's like, well, you guys should have just avoided the situation. It's like, well, we couldn't go anywhere because the person that was sober to drive the car, because we were doing the responsible thing, we had a dedicated driver, he got knocked the fuck out. Like, through the window of the car. And it's like, we couldn't go anywhere, and we had to deal with it. And these little shits, they ended up killing I suspect it was them that killed someone a week later. Like, same MO, same everything, about 2 or 3 Ks from where we were. There was a guy walking down the road over near the TAFE, not too far from where we were, and yeah, they just jumped him, stomped on his head, and yeah, put him in a coma for a week until he died.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is like, there was a lot of these sorts of things that were going on at the time. You know, it seemed to be a trend that was happening around like this area of Perth. So, and like people that could defend themselves, like a grown man should be able to defend himself against a bunch of teenagers, but probably held back because, you know, if he was to try to defend himself against like a group of teenagers beating him, he's probably thinking, I could kill these kids and I'll get fucked over. I'm going to end up being someone's bitch in prison.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what goes through my head every time I end up in a fight. Was like, if I kill this person, I'm going to jail. Even though they started it, they will try to make an example of me. Don't fight back. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just. God. Sorry.
That's alright.
Sore.
That's...
I'm playing Call of Duty right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, playing some Warzone.
Yeah, streaming the Space Engineers thing still. So, I haven't really been doing a lot, because like, when I get on a rant like that, I kind of stop playing the game and just...
You're like me, you just like, yeah, okay, well, time to talk, kind of thing.
Well, you know...
There's nothing wrong with it, I mean, just having a good conversation, you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's probably not a very radio-friendly conversation, but...
It's anything nowadays?
Well, you know, as soon as you say anything that could be conceived as being true, that would be a no. Or something that... It is an interesting thing. Have you ever looked up the definition of the word satanic?
No.
No? Okay.
Honestly.
The actual definition of satanic is the alternative viewpoint. It's not actually the worship of Satan. Like, to be satanic is to think contrary to the popular belief. And, like, a lot of religion has been about trying to control a population with the threat of, you know, eternal damnation or something like this. At least that's the way it's been used. Now, that's not necessarily the case as far as whether or not, you know, there is a god or isn't a god. That's kind of arbitrary to the way that religion has been used as a tool for controlling people. And what's really happened over the last 20 years, if not a little bit longer, like the atheist movement, which I don't think is brilliant either, has tried to diminish the capacity of the church to dictate what is right and wrong and all that sort of shit. You know, it used to be, oh, you know, God's always watching you sort of thing, and that's why you should always do the right thing, to try to make the 80% of the people that will, you know, just do whatever the mass wants to do the right thing or what have you. Because you've always got 10% of the people will always do the right thing, and you've got 10% of the people that will always do the wrong thing, and everybody else is sort of a grey area in the middle. This is sociology 101 sort of thing, you know. It's long proven and all that, but government now is the new religion. Like, that is the system of control that we're currently using, and the main tool is economics. Like, you know, they control your money, they control your behavior, and that's what they want. It's all about control. It's not about dollars and cents. It's about, you need to do as you're told. You need to be subordinate, subservient, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. And nowadays, rather than being a devil worshipper or satanic or anything like that, you're deemed as being a dissident person or a conservative over in the United States, or someone who believes contrary to whatever based on, you know, a particular set of ideals. There's a lot of things where it's very concerning. Like, the concept of utopia is deemed to be the ultimate place to be in and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But utopia comes from the Greek word of nowhere. It does not exist. It is a fictitious place which can't exist. So, you know, a utopian society, there is no such thing. Like, that is actually attainable. And the other thing as well is, like, every time you take a step towards it, you'll never actually get there because the standard is too unrealistic. So, but, you know, delving deep into philosophy now.
Yeah, I'm still listening. Holy crap.
Ah, like,
So
I'm just rambling and ranting.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
Ah, it's not healthy, though. Because it doesn't achieve anything. The only thing that I could really hope to achieve from it is maybe to help propagate a new idea. Or maybe help someone develop an idea as to something that could be done about it. I mean, I can complain until the end of time, but realistically, it's not smart to do, because to complain about something and not actually provide any potential solutions is just as big a problem. Like, I don't like to whinge about stuff unless I could perhaps suggest a better way to go about it.
Right.
Like, because otherwise, you know, I'm just as bad as the people that are, you know, with weird coloured hair that don't shave their armpits, that complain that they're a member of a particular letter in the alphabet and all the rest of that sort of crap. Oh, fuck me. That shit's insane. But me saying that... Oh, fuck me, man. It's like... It's crazy. Like,
Look at Mario.
why are... Well, I'm asking why. And that's another thing that is a really kind of a fatal flaw of mine, is like, I always want to know why someone did something, because, you know, you ask that question, you can perhaps better understand where they're coming from, and you may be able to work towards a solution. That's my goal. But you can't get... Like, if you try to ask why a crazy person does something crazy, you're going to end up driving yourself crazy.
Yeah, trying to figure out what they did crazy.
And here's the other thing about, like, mental health, right? You can't know if you've gone crazy, because crazy people don't know they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you drive yourself nuts trying to figure out the mind of a crazy person, you won't fucking know. This is a risky fucking proposition, isn't it?
Character. God damn, that's a badass character. Alright, I'm listening.
Oh, that's alright.
I just bought the... What's it called? Battle Pass, so...
Oh, okay, how is it?
A lot of new crap in this one.
Yeah?
Especially, I like the new skin I just got. I'm got it up on stream.
Sorry?
I said I have it up on Discord stream right now.
Just having a quick look. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I haven't played many of the new FPS games. It's like...
Well, that's the nice thing, is Warzone's free besides the Battle Pass, obviously.
Oh, I get
It's
my ass
just a
kicked by little
crap
kids
kinda-
now. Like, when my kids started kicking my ass at...
I'll admit, I still get my ass kicked, but I still play it, just to do it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
Like,
get my ass kicked all the time.
I don't know, some things I'm good at, some things I'm not. And, yeah, I just don't really get that
Now,
much
if you throw me
enjoyment
on
out of it anymore.
PlayStation 4 or Xbox with this game, I would destroy it, but mouse and keyboard, I'm still learning.
Oh, we'll see, like, I grew up gaming with mouse and keyboard, so... Well,
Yeah.
that's not strictly true. Well, actually, I don't know, like, my days go back all the way to the Commodore 64, so...
Yeah, it's funny how people are like, oh, control is so much harder to play on. Actually, no, it's not.
It depends on what you're doing. Like, and there's ways to play with the controller as well. Like some driving games, like what was it, Grid 2? That was
Oh god, I still have Grid 2.
yeah. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing that game. I was really good at drifting with the control pad on that game. Try to play it with the steering wheel is a freaking challenge though. But
Mm-hmm.
but that was a good
Crap, I
fun
still
game.
gun still lock.
Bubba, look.
Gun was this?
Ah.
Oh, my M13. And I'm gonna switch off of the M13 on this class, even though I need to level it up.
Yeah, see, Australia doesn't need firearms, but what we do need is a change in the attitude of lawmakers as far as having the right to defend yourself goes. Like in Australia as well, there is no right to free speech. We have nothing like the Second Amendment. In fact, we have kind of
I'm listening.
we have something very opposite of that. In fact, whereas if you speak out against your government, that can be considered treasonous, and you can wind up in jail from that. Like, you know, as a dissident or whatever. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, there's every chance that, you know, the police may come and kick my door down for some of the things that I've said today. You know,
God damn, I got crappy aim.
it's not likely though, because it'd be a lot of effort for him, and the magistrate will just look at it and go, "Really, you guys have nothing better to do with your time?" But, you know, there is still the possibility of it, because I'm saying something that's contrary to what would be acceptable by the police and whatnot. So, and they don't like that as an idea. It's like, you can't speak out against us. You know, we are the law. Which,
Yeah.
I think is problematic in itself. Like, it's like you guys have Fauci banging on about saying, here's the science. Like, we have police over here banging on about, I am the law, and it's like, well, you're not. Like, you're supposed to... I mean, what was the purpose of the law? And the law in itself is a bad description of what it is anyway. Like, it's not technically called the law over here. It's called, Acts of Parliament. Like, because the definition of a law is a set of conditions that cannot be violated. Cannot be violated. Now, as far as I know, there's only 3 actual laws. And that is the Newton's laws of motion. Everything else is a rule. Like, because, you know, rules can have exceptions and rules can be broken, whereas a law is something that cannot, like, that has no exception or anything like that. So to say that someone's breaking the law is a contradiction of terms. It's like you can't break laws.
Ow.
Or at least that we're aware of at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you can't travel faster than the speed of light at the moment. And even then, it's like, you know, if you were to have a look at physics and all the rest of that sort of stuff, they're looking at ways to get around physics as far as the speed of light goes. It's like, yeah, you can't travel faster than the speed of light, so let's change space or something like that and circumvent it using
That's the thing is,
warp
as
technology.
humans, is we just want control over everything.
Well, as humans, you don't have control over anything realistically. Like,
but we want control. As 90% of our species wants everything, you know.
Well, here's something that I learned a long time ago. Like, because I had a lot of people trying to make me accountable for other people's actions and behaviors. And, like, my psychologist actually told me this. Or a psychiatrist actually might have been. It was one of them. They said, look, all you really have control over is the actions you choose to take yourself. You have no control over the actions and behaviors of other people or other things that go on in the world. You're not responsible for, you know, whatever. Like, I'm not responsible for climate change per se. Like, if anything, like, it could be argued that, like, anything that gets done in Australia, which has a population of about 26 or 27 million people, which is fuck all, like, in comparison to anywhere else in the world, everything we do is going to be a drop in the ocean comparatively. Like, unless, of course, you know, there's a massive disaster like tetraethyl lead or something like that that some idiot goes and creates. Like, he's the guy that's responsible for making the entire world's population dumber. Like, I'm not joking. He seriously lowered everybody's IQ points something like by 30 points with the invention of tetraethyl lead as an additive for petrol, apparently. So, fuck knows how smart I would have been according to the
It's weird, you
tests.
guys call it petrol, we just call it gas over here.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, we got petrol and diesel, so... Oh, and then there's avgas, I suppose, and other things, but... Yeah. I think Australia's not unique with that. I think they call it petrol in the UK as well.
Yeah. I'm just saying, other than the US, you guys normally call it... Everybody else normally calls it petrol.
Gas is a shortened term for gasoline, which probably has a corporate name attached to it, similar to a biro is a pen. but a pen is not necessarily a biro.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna get absolutely probably fucked over here, but yeah.
Is that Call of Duty,
Oh
is it?
my
Which
God.
Call of Duty is it?
Yeah. Modern Warfare.
Oh, okay. I think I might... Oh, I've got Modern Warfare 2, I think. Like, so it's old. Or maybe I got 3. I can't remember.
Oh, I knew I wasn't gonna gunfight it, but I got fucked there. I mean, this is Warzone, so it takes a lot more to kill people in this one.
Ah, okay.
So, you'll unload a whole clip and barely kill them.
Yeah, that was one of the things
right
that
now
annoyed
it's
me.
50 on 50 team deathmatch.
It's like, that's why I preferred Battlefield in a lot of respects.
I still have Battlefield.
Yeah, like, I miss playing Battlefield in some ways. Other ways I don't. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to try and get back to building my shit.
Come on. I don't know how he didn't hurt me a dime, but I'm not gonna complain. Oh, sorry, teammates. Come on, where is he? I don't like being in this situation like this. Damn it.
What situation do you mean?
Being pinned in.
Oh, okay. Well, when you die and respawn, you can always change it.
Oh yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Woohoo!
Did you ever see that YouTube channel, The Noob Hunter?
No.
Oh man, he was funny. I think he was an American. He was putting on a fake Steve Irwin accent. But yeah, he would go around hunting noobs, like do catch and release with noobs.
Really?
Oh, it was funny. Yeah, it's like people like spawn camping or just camping in general. Yeah, it was hilarious to watch.
I don't know how I missed all. I don't know how I didn't kill him, but I'm dipping out. Woohoo! That's the thing, is you learn real quick when to just kind of dip out when it's not the time.
Yeah.
Come on. Nothing? I was hoping I was gonna get something off that frag. Apparently not. Got him. Woohoo! I guess I'm actually not doing too bad on mouse and keyboard right now.
Yeah, well, like I've always found like FPS
think
games
so.
were a lot easier with the mouse and keyboard because you can turn around a lot quicker.
Yeah, I just need to get an adjustable DPI mouse. Unfortunately, I don't have one right now. Used to, but it broke when we moved. I got fucking crushed. So. Oh. Damn, teammate. Fucking take my kills, bro. Our team's just absolutely killing these guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're making these kids rage quit at this point.
That's always, well, it's not always funny, but definitely it has its moments.
You dick. Shot me in my leg. That hurt. I don't like being shot in the leg. No, with snipers I'm really good though. Come on, where are you? Oh, what? Oh, he's seen me. I was like, how the hell did he kill me? And I didn't realize he could see me. It made me jump. Because I went to pull the trigger, and right as I pulled it, he popped me in the head.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, huh? God, jeez, I just fell down everything. Yeah, right now I'm probably doing pretty good out of my team. Oh! Come on, poke your little head again. I dare you. I love when they're too scared to poke their head up. Then they make you come chase them. Damn it, missed that shot. With on controller, I used to be able to quick scope all the time.
Well, the other thing that you got when you're playing with a controller is the aim assistance, like which you don't.
I turned mine all the way off.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't though. But yeah, playing with the mouse and keyboard, you see a lot of people rely on it, even if it's on a little bit or something like that, just to help you snap onto it.
Yeah. I got a 1.29 KD. That's not too bad.
And yeah, you see a lot of people whinging when they play cross-platform games. Like, you know, they're playing on a console versus PC, and they're getting absolutely smoked.
That's what Warzone is cross-platform between all three.
Yeah, and when they can't use the aim assist, they whinge and carry on. It's like, oh, this is not fair. It's blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, well, you know.
Unfortunately, they get aim assist with it.
You can turn it on now with the mouse and keyboard, but originally it wasn't. And that was one of the big things that would prevent the cross-platform
On here, you still
stuff.
can't. On here, you can't at all. There's only one bypass to it, and that's having a controller plugged in. Trust me, I would use my Elite controller, but I don't like playing Warzone with it. Plus, it sucks I don't have my good account with all my weapons. Dude, my dog is assed out on my bed. Like, no, she'll take my girlfriend's spot on the bed, and my dog will take up a good 50% of the bed. And I get this little, like, 10% after my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
I've
And
been
then she
in
complains, "I'm
situations
cold." I'm
like
like, you
that
have all the
before.
blankets, and I'm on the edge next to the fan.
Like, one of my exes, she had a really obnoxious dog, and, well, I suppose dog took after her in a lot of respects. But, Yeah, it was a nightmare trying to sleep in the same bed as her because, yeah, you get pushed out of bed by her and the dog. And, yeah, like, I've got a lot of sleep disorders as well, so,
Yeah.
like, it was not pleasant. Like, I'd wake up with bruises and shit because apparently I used to twitch while I was asleep. And she cracked the shits about it one day and beat the crap out of me. And I'm like, why the fuck why have I got bruised ribs? Oh, you were twitching last night and you wouldn't stop and you woke me up. And it's like, oh, okay, so that justifies assault. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what I don't understand about a lot of women, dude.
Like, I try not to think about it anymore because it's just a nightmare you don't need. Like, trying to understand, like, it's not all women either, it's just some people are...
90%.
No, you can't even say that.
Over
Like,
here. Over here, it's 90% of the girls, dude. Honestly, either they're a bunch of bitches, they're whores, or
yeah, I don't know, like, I don't like generalizing stuff, but, you know, it's definitely not an easy thing to deal with over here either, in a lot of respects. It's like, I mean, that's why, you know, there's the whole MGTOW movement, which, you know, like, the irony of women complaining about that as well is pretty funny. It's like, oh, who's going to look after me now? And it's like, well, go and get a job. How about you go and spend your own money for a change? Oh, that's sexist. It's like, I don't know whether or not we have the same definition of what's sexist. Me telling you to go and spend your own money? How is that sexist?
well, my girlfriend's mom. Oh, she's something special, dude. I think her mom only likes me because at the time when I met my girlfriend at prom, I was driving my Dodge Charger.
My ex was like that with my GTR. Well, one of them.
Yeah, but my girlfriend herself, she didn't care for the car. She didn't even know what kind of car it was. She really didn't even care. But her mom's like, well, you need to take her out to the most expensive dinners, do this, do that.
It's like,
kind of thing.
Why?
Even my girlfriend was like, you don't have to do that. My girlfriend barely even talks to her mother now.
Yeah, well, like... There's a lot of things that happen in the world that you really don't need in your life. And narcissism would be one of them.
Mm-hmm. Shit, I really just did that. Do that way. Come on, where are you guys at?
I've tried to tell many people many times, it's like, if anybody tells you that you have to be a particular way because of the way something looks or something like that, then there's something wrong with the way that person is thinking, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, not allowed to go and use common sense, reason and logic to go and make an argument these days, so...
Well, her mom, like I said, the reason why she's something special is she's also... Her mom and her dad aren't divorced yet, right?
Fair enough.
But she's going around sleeping with other women, well, other dudes, and pretty much bouncing around their 8-year-old daughter with other dudes' houses since they're no longer together.
Yeah, it's concerning to say the least. Like whenever
her mom doesn't want to work.
That's not uncommon these days, neither.
Well, no, her mom's expecting her dad to pay for everything and buy her new phones and stuff, and he's like, fuck you, kind of thing.
Well, that's something that I'm very glad that we don't have in Australia is the alimony laws like what goes on in the US. Because that shit is absurd.
No, we don't either. It's... up to the parent how they do shit, I guess, over here.
Yeah, but like I've seen or heard of a lot of cases. Like there's the actor Dave Foley. He copped a lot of shit. Like I think he's Canadian, and like actually I think in Canada is where his kids are, and he can't go back to Canada because he owes that much money in back child support because of what the court determined, and he can't see his kids. So
That's crazy.
what happened to him is a tragedy, you know, and it sounds like he went through a lot of the same shit that Johnny Depp did.
Yeah.
With crazy exes and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the time not even these guys' fault, you know.
Well, I mean, everybody plays a part, but at the same time, it's like, you know, where do you draw the line? Like, I mean, I had a magistrate over here tell me, after being in 3 abusive relationships and trying to get a restraining order against one because one tried to kill me, another one was threatening my kids. But like the magistrate, and the last time I was before him, like trying to get a restraining order, he said to me, like, these 3 women have all blah blah blah, and they all ganged up because that's what they do. And I said, yeah, well, you know, I've made some poor choices after the death of my first wife. And it's like, yeah, well, you need to look at, you know, the decisions in the people that you pick. You know, how did you get yourself in this situation? It's like, why are you excusing someone trying to murder me, another person threatening to kidnap my kids, and another person trying to take all my money and threaten to kill me because I'm worth more to her dead than alive?
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't allowed to speak, like, because like every time I tried to speak, like the other party would run their mouth something wicked until the magistrate just started getting a headache and says, look, no, this is what's going to happen. And it's like, well, that's not fair. They were trying to get me to accept a restraining order against me. And it's like, well, I'm not the person in danger here. And it's like, well, why don't you both have one against each other? And it's like, because then that's a violent criminal conviction in Western Australia, sort of thing. If I have a restraining order being held against me, then I cannot get a, you know, that'll affect my job at the time, which I was working for the government at the time, and a lot of other aspects of my life. And the whole point of her trying to do that was to try and destroy my life because, like, she wanted to win the argument. She wanted to get back at me because she was basically an incompetent murderer. But not allowed to say those sorts of things either because, you know, she wasn't convicted. And she wasn't convicted because the magistrate decided that there wasn't sufficient evidence. It's like, so technically she could be tried again, pending new evidence and stuff like that, but they don't want to look at the evidence because she might get convicted.
Yep.
And just
Fortunately.
like, we have, it used to be called DCP over here, which is Department of Child Protection. Now they call it DCFS, which is Department of Child and Family Services, which is basically the Believe All Women department of the government. Like, if you say, like, I went in there and said to them, I need help because my partner is abusing my kids, and I got investigated because of it. And I got told that because I didn't get the kids out of the situation sooner, I could be charged.
Robin, I can't hear you.
So, yeah, like, it's fucked here.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks having to hear that, man.
Yeah, like, well, you know, it sounds like you've got it pretty shit over there too, so.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, as far as lawmakers or people that try to uphold laws goes, it's like, you know this is wrong, why are you letting them get away with it?
Because they just don't care, unfortunately.
No, I think they do care, but they're worried about what everybody else is going to think of them. Like, oh, you know, if the media gets a hold of this, you know, we charge a woman for a violent crime and put her away for the same amount of time as what a man would be. Like, you know, I don't know how many times I've heard of women. There was a woman who was sending naked pictures to a boy. A young boy, like, he was underage. And she laughed about it as she left court. Like, technically, now what would happen if the roles were reversed? This happened over in Sydney, I think it was. And yeah, she walked away with not even a slap on the wrist. Like, I think she may have gotten community service out of that deal. Now, if that had been a bloke sending dick pics to a 12-year-old girl rather than a 12-year-old boy being sent, like, you know, equivalent pics from a woman, like, it's absurd. Like, the penalty should be the same on both sides. Like, people are people.
Yeah. That's not the way they see it.
Well, equal rights should mean also equal consequences.
Yep.
100 on full.
But anyway,
Holy. Blah, blah, blah.
What are you playing again?
Warzone.
Yeah, one.
Not really. Getting my ass handed.
Oh,
God damn it, I shouldn't have peeked back out. I mean, I got 8 kills right now. I'm not doing too bad.
yeah.
You should have seen me when I used
How many
to play
times have you
Call of
died
Duty,
though?
man.
What's the kill death ratio?
I think I've only died like 3 times.
Oh, that's not bad.
Mm-mm. Every game I've been over a 1 KD.
Yeah, I'd be lucky to do that these days. I'm hopeless at first-person shooters nowadays.
I'm just trying to kind of flank around as much as I can. Oh god. Dip, dip. Dip, 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 dip. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See? Wow. Where was he even health-wise? Come on. I didn't even crack his plates. You're kidding me, right? Damn it. I'm at least trying to get 15 to 16 kills now. That's proving a little bit harder to do.
Alright, I think I've got my pressurized environment set now. Well, partway set. Rebuilding a ship. Playing on an open server at the moment.
Okay.
Like, this one is a Horizon server. Like, I think this one's actually got, like, it's a clustered server where they've got, I think there's a server in the United States and the UK as well as in Australia. So, like, you guys might be able to play on it without having too many lag issues. Maybe.
Normally I don't have a lot of lag issues anyways.
Yeah, well, what we've found, like, playing on, like, the American servers and stuff like that, they have been pretty difficult dealing with some of the lag and stuff like that.
Yeah, which I don't doubt that.
But it's mainly because, like, I mean, we're a long way away. Like, we'd be lucky if we could get a ping under 300 milliseconds.
Damn. Oh, I'm gonna get fricked.
what?
Dip, 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 dip.
What did you just say, Bobo?
Need more guns.
So where did he get me from? Oh. I was like, where did he shoot me? And then I turn around and I see him up on there.
That 1,
You
2,
get-
3, 4. I think I'll go there.
Do I not unlock any new rifles? Damn. I was hoping I unlocked a new LMG, but apparently not. Oh no, we're gonna end up losing this one. Well, at least let me get my 10 kill. Yep, we lost.
I know you and
I guess 9 wasn't too bad. What, Bubba?
I think I know what I need right now. Oh, know what that is?
Hmm.
It's some springs. These spring I'm holding?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think I need.
I had a 1.5 KD. 96.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it still went positive. That's all I care about.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like making sure that you yeah, like you will win the game with the kill death ratio of that. So
Yeah, normally my KD stays above like a 1.9. But
Oh,
I mean, that's
big
controller
brain.
side too, though.
What I just did was big brain.
that is a massive gun. I think it's too big.
What time do you think your sheet level?
What?
Okay, I don't think I can put that one on.
Actually, I can tell you. Because I bought food, so. Let me tell you. Come on, load. Actually, guess it's not telling me on that side. Look on 360.
Let's try that one.
So much by the time they're gonna be home in less than a half hour.
332. 322, sorry. Yeah. 322.
Accepts 250mm ferrous slugs. Oops. I think that says superconductors. Yep.
Why did I get so far away from there? What? I know you're not shooting at me, dum-dum. You asshole. Why am I being the one getting shot? What the hell? What about Bubba's? I'm gonna be home tomorrow too. Yeah. God, whose mic is that? Oh. Had to mute my team because holy shit, their mic's too loud.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's something that's very different I've noticed about Australian versus American servers is, yeah, the toxicity of some of the players. Jeez.
Oh, you haven't heard nothing then, man.
Oh, no, like, I've watched a lot of videos of toxic players, but, like, on the Stone Industry server, like, when, we were going into the open, or what is it, the Nexus Hub, yeah, geez, like some of those people were pretty full on. Like Australians, on the other hand, are a lot more easygoing with shit. I mean, you've still got like, you know, some people take the game a bit too seriously. You get kids that throw tantrums and carry on like idiots and shit. But the majority of people that we come across is like, first thing you say to people is like, "Oh, how's it going, mate?" You know, when you're in the hub, and it was like, "Oh yeah, not bad. What are you working on?" "Oh yeah, this, that, the other thing," and yeah, have a nice, friendly, easygoing conversation. None of this craziness.
Maybe. You gotta get off my butt though, bud. Oh, thanks.
Did you just get loot from somebody?
Yep.
Good.
I'm scared to move though because I know what's gonna happen here in a sec. Let's do it.
groups.
Was that your teammate?
Just gotta commit. Just gotta commit.
Okay.
Daya?
God damn it! I knew I was gonna have that happen. Just a matter of time. Yeah, absolutely fucked there. Sorry, don't mind me over here.
Yeah. It's all good.
I just knew I was gonna get ass screwed.
So you play Space Engineers much?
Yeah, normally.
Not for a
Haven't
while
been
though.
around. Not for a while. I kind of gave up after I lost my one base. My
Nice.
world corrupted, and I was working on it for 3 years.
Jeez. That's pretty full on.
Yep.
See, I don't mind doing the starts and stuff like that. Like I do, like this is like I'm running the 3rd season now of like the stream sort of thing. It was like just start a new season with each startup and stuff like that, and try to make it harder for myself every time. I got a pretty decent sized ship. Like every time like something severe happens or something like that, it's sort of like a learning experience, I guess. It's like, oh, okay, let's see if we can negate that problem next time. But yeah, I was thinking about like in the next startup of doing a economy only sort of start, or starting with like no ship or anything like that, starting on a station, see if I can do it that way.
That's the way I normally do it. Is I do station start.
Yes, well, like I'm talking about like an NPC station where you've got to like go and mine ores and sell them to the NPC.
Ah,
Like, yeah, really make it hard.
really? My teammate got me screwed over there. That was sucky. Sorry.
That's all good.
He jumped right in front of me and got me killed.
But yeah, I'm not minding this server. Like the only thing that, well, something that I was gonna do was have a look and see if I could find some other people on the server, because yeah, it was getting pretty quiet. Like, probably should make a ship that's a little bit stronger. Although, yeah, they've got separated PvP and PvE sections and stuff like that as well. Speed mods are
really?
on. Yeah, there's a lot of mods running as well, which are pretty cool.
Bro, I'm so tired of getting assist right now. Come on. The sucky thing is I know these guys are gonna peak, it's just a matter of when.
Oh, why can't I put that in there? Oh, I know why. Because I haven't. Oh, and I just killed myself. Like an idiot. Splattered into the back of my ship. Or the back of my cockpit area.
Yeah, do you ever free design like in creative and then take your ship to survival?
Nah, not really. Like, I struggle with doing that. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, I have tried doing that, like, to work on building stuff and stuff like that, but yeah, I really do struggle with it.
Yeah, it's what I normally do is I just go into creative, build a ship that I like, and then I'll slowly transfer the design over to survival.
Oh, like, I have built stuff that way before, but, like, I don't really get as much out of it. Like, as far as, like, for fuck's sake.
This is... I'm playing so risky right
Yeah,
now, bro.
I think my game's just crashed.
Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Night, Bubbas. Oh, man. I have to go to the restroom here in a minute.
Oh no, where's my ship? There we go. Yep, my ship just sent itself into deep space. Annoyingly.
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Well, there you go. Medical room recharges your energy and health 5 times as fast as a survival kit. I knew it was faster, but I didn't know it was specific. Well, this is taking its time. I think I might end the stream there. Thanks for watching if you have been. And yeah, I hopefully continue on soon.